Alright, it's time for Diamond Jarvan. And this is not that old of a game. Shook one, I mean, Bulwark still existed, but it's less than a week old. Shook two, so attack damage red, armor yellow, magic resistance scaling blues, attack damage quits. Masteries are 9, 21, 0. Anyways, I'm facing versus a Shaco, and y'all know how much I love Shaco. So I decided to start red just to see, if I have to deal with the stupid shenanigans from the Shaco trying to invade me. I mean, this is a good way to deal with it, because if you can sort of predict where the Shaco may start, and you start like on the mirrored side of him, not exactly like blue, but like blue-red, you can go to your other buff and take it out before he tries to invade you. Anyways, I noticed he was top, so that means top lane must have DC'd or something. So I steer red, but keep this in mind, I went over the dragon wall just because I thought maybe they had warded this or some shit and they knew I could have invaded. So there, Lux was investigating. I go home. I took his red. And my Nami gets first blood. Anyways, keep this in mind. Some of you will say, Stonewall's a pretty dick-headed thing to go steal a buff from a team that had a DC. Well, you know what? They probably would have done the same shit anyway, so I went ahead and did it. Plus, fuck Shaco in every sense of the word. Shaco just makes the game unfun for pretty much everybody that exists. He's one of the most unfun characters in the game to deal with. Anyways, first gank. Riven doesn't seem to have ward. I know she DC'd, but she's doing far better than the Lee Sin already, given the circumstances. Go in, we start bashing her. She already wasted her flash. I managed to snip her with my slow, but as you can check by my cooldowns, I don't have my EQ. So she gets away. The Lee Sin calls me a coward, by the way, which is I'm just confused by. Like, I just didn't have, CC. So our gank failed, but luckily our bottom lane is kicking ass. However, though, even despite being warned, they get, Lux travels down and kills somebody. You're gonna notice a lot of interesting plays by certain players as the game goes on. I'm building defense. I'm going tank Jarvan for this one. Because, as you can see, Riven is fucking beating Lee Sin, and I'm hoping, because Lee Sin's looking like he's going to build offense, that I can be the front lines, crowd control, and whatever. She's diving Lee Sin, hoping to murder him. It's like she's tower diving him despite the DC and the early blood. It makes me think the Lee Sin doesn't exactly know how to play the matchup properly, or whatever. Anyways, here I come. She burned all her gag closing abilities, so I just go right over the wall, ult her, and just start stabbing away. She has no ability, so I just whack her to death. Bam, bam, long staff, giant fast. Lux comes up and snipes Lee Sin, even though he was warned. The Riven says, let's all champ the player who DC'd. Well, she's kicking my Lee Sin's ass. Farm-wise, for a while, and they're kind of even now, and then just kind of thrashing his ass. You can see that he was up to his tower and almost dead, so she's pretty much the vital choice to go ganking. Bottom lane seems to have themselves, nicely protected. I don't even know this kind of an initiation. It's like Cassie didn't even follow up with it, nor would have it even resulted in a kill. Either way, I go bottom because Nami's mid. The enemy team is going to think that Vayne is all alone. So I feel that Blitzcrank's probably going to try to engage on her. And she baits him out. We go in. Dead Blitzcrank. He flashes too right now. But it's just going to be a waste of flash. And it's going to result in his death. So keep this in mind. I went bottom lane because my support was mid. That would give the impression that Vayne would be alone. Using that, I hid myself, waiting for the counter gank opportunity at bottom lane. That's ganky. That's kind of a tipping ganky. Here, Blitzcrank goes in and pulls in a golem, gets stunned into a wall. I jump in and we get another fucking kill on Blitzcrank. Yeah, Blitzcrank isn't exactly the smartest guy here. But this game is not over by a long shot. The scores are practically even, and look, we pinged the Vayne to go back. In comes Lux, and she couldn't even fight Caitlyn 1v1, and she died. Then it resulted in Nami dying too, because she thought she'd have to stick around to protecting her. So, sadly, 2 people died as a result of Vayne getting a little too greedy, and it gave the gold advantage back to the blue side. Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta realize. I mean, sometimes you just gotta realize your life is in danger. Just because you can't, you have wars doesn't necessarily mean you're safe. Here goes another one of those engagements. Riven goes all in, and I go right in as soon as her abilities are on cooldown. I try to. I was hoping my ultimate would burst her down before Lee Sin got killed. And I mean, she popped her ultimate. That was my time. Oh shit, gotta kill her before she destroys Lee Sin. Fortunately, we did just enough damage to kill her before she slaughtered him. He recovered quite a bit of health thanks to the Vampiric Scepter and his W. Cassidy is buying Medjay Soul Stealer, and so is Lux. It's going to be one of those kind of races. Though Cassidy has no kills, so it kind of seems like a ton of wasted gold. The team is gathering together to see if we can get a cherry pick and then go for a dragon. Cassidy goes right in and chunks the shit out of Shaco, but Shaco lives. Vayne takes a bit of damage, and she's going to go recover it from taking minions, and we go for dragon. Now here's one of my shameful things. We start doing dragon, and pretty much my ass cringes the second my smite leaves it with a sliver of health, and Lux steals it. It's one of those feelings, but getting revenge, I try to initiate. I only get Riven though, and the fight is completely scattered. I jump on Riven, making sure she died and stayed away from the Vayne. Shaco goes right in to kill what's her face, Nami, and gets killed as a result as well. I die, but that's kind of my job, and then the rest of my team gets to clean up a bit of them. Cassidy goes all in, Burning Flash and his ultimate, and tanks too many towers and dies. Vayne goes in, picks up an easy kill, takes the double buffs, and then tries to kill. Wait, does she get the double buffs? No, that was Caitlyn who had the double buffs. Alright, Caitlyn survives. You get a tower, Vayne dies. But it seems overall worth it. The gold is still pretty much even, though it's only on our side by 900 gold. So talk about even matches. Sadly, I have the least amount of gold. I didn't really have enough time to farm or any lanes to farm, mostly because I've been roaming and getting, ganks in. I have the least amount of gold in the game, surprisingly. I mean, even though I have the least amount of deaths and good kills and assists, I still don't have as much gold as the Nami. The Nami's been a part of a lot of more delicious kills. Let's just say that. Even so, what's it called? Blitzcrank gets hit by a Q. We dive in. We pop everything to try to kill him. In retrospect, that seemed very risky and stupid. Cassidy gets CC'd and almost killed, but Lee Sin comes in and distracts the enemy team. Nami and I had to protect Cassidy, and she gets off scot-free. Shaco, for some reason, tries to kill Lee Sin. We pop in, kill him. I flash of the water, avoid Riven. Riven kills Lee Sin, and for some fucking reason, Vayne goes in 1v3 and just gets herself CC'd and killed. So, once more, we're kind of back where we started. Both teams pretty much have the same amount of gold. Sure, the gold is kind of balanced in some champions' favors, and then the Cassidy decides to die pointlessly. This is not going to be the first time. So even fucking game. I'm building, Spirit of the Ancient Golem as per requirement for most tanks, but also because they have a lot of crowd control, like intentional crowd control or not, like fucking boxes. So they have a lot of CC, and I felt I need to get this. They're also, their only AP is Lux, which is fine burst damage, but I felt Ninja Taba will serve me a lot better later, and I wanted to buy Aegis anyways. Shaco gets caught, and then for some reason everybody burns everything on him, and we go for a second dragon. This time I fucking make sure to get it correctly. So Lee Sin initiates on them, so does Cassidy. Nothing happens from that. Once more, the gold is still the same. This tower will, of course, lean it towards us a little bit more, but ultimately, the gold isn't that much different. We ping to get back because their entire team is alive, and we don't know if we can win a team fight without being, near their tower. So we're just kind of hoping for a good engage from somebody. I'm sort of struggling. We're not having communication here, whether I should be the initiator or the bodyguard, or Lee Sin, Cassidy, and assassinate the MVP. while I, peel for Vayne. So we're gonna have some of that miscommunication, and you're gonna see how it works. How? 8 more minutes of this. We're just ward hunting. The Nami is actually, really useful this game. She's doing very fine. She's been clearing wards. She's been getting good engages on, despite the fact that she's died quite a bit of times. But given how the game has turned out, it's kind of dirty. So here we catch a Shaco off guard. Check the minimap. They go in, they fight him, they think he went down, but we see him just for a split second enter the tri-bush. And so everybody just kind of convenes on him, catches him, and destroys him. Vayne focuses the fake one for whatever reason and hurts us, but it isn't a lot of damage. I know they're going to just stockpile through this fucking narrow corridor, so once they get in threes, I initiate. Ultim, what's space casting rolls right in. Perfect Nami ultimate, grabs them all, and it's just a cleanup. I die, but the rest of my team gets to clean them up. Double kill, and then there's him. That should be an ace, I believe. Yep, ace. We can't get Baron because they're all really fucking low, but we aced him. This allows us to get another tower and pretty much gives us the lead for the first time in the game. And by lead, I mean it's actually noticeable. We have about 4,000 more gold than they do. 5,500 now. But still, point stands. This game is fucking rigorous. They're preparing to do Baron and we're trying to keep them off of it. But I don't want to engage without having the Kassadin and everybody here. Kassadin's dead though, so I'm waiting for Lee Sin to engage or for us to get ulted. Bam, Nami ult goes in. Did I get silenced? I don't know. I'm hanging in the back. Go in on the Riven catcher. She needs to die first. She's pretty much the most fucking threatening. Caitlyn does good amount of damage, Lux does too, but Riven is just fucking gonna slaughter everybody. And you'll see later on in the game what I'm going to mean by that even more. So, we traded 1-for-1. Riven for the Vayne, which I think is fine. Kassadin, if he showed up, could deal with everybody else, along with me pinning someone down. So, I buy Bulwark. Rip Bulwark, it's out of the game at this point. For magic resistance and defenses, and the next item I believe I'm building is Locket. I'm pretty much just this team's R-whore. Building nothing but tanking, just providing my crowd control and my stat boosts. Anyways, this is what you kind of go when your teams are ridiculously even. If I was ahead, I'd go damage. But I have to, in this game, I have to rely on my teammates doing their job, especially the Vayne and Kassadin. It kind of relies on them. Lee Sin and I kind of have similar jobs. We could trade being the initiator or the peeler, but in both cases, Jarvan would be better. Anyways, we try to bait out Baron, but they have their own little what's called oracles now, so it's kind of a little back and forth, just poking at each other. Nothing much gonna come out of this. Pretty much we're keeping each other blind. We know where everybody's wards are, but Nami gets caught, almost killed. Fortunately, she survives. But now they might try to go for Baron. Sorry for that sigh, for yawn. Anyways, I'm low health, but I can't leave. Or was low health. And then I got... Why my health a little bit better? Whatever. We're just picking at each other, poking at each other. Kassadin goes in, puts Blitzcrank on blast. We're kind of, split up. Nobody catches anybody. Nothing happens. It's one of those Mexican standoff things. However, fucking Blitzcrank just explodes. Vayne is just treading on hot water. She's, thin ice, I think. She's low health. So I keep hoping we just retreat and heal up, because if they come back in force, they could kill a few of us, and then they can take Baron away from us. So I finally get to go home. Nope. No, I know. Oh yeah, I stuck around with low health because they must know that we want to do Baron, and they're by them advancing, they're just waiting for me or somebody else to leave. So once more, we're just blinding each other and warding up. Boom. Vayne gets caught and killed, and this is their chance to go for Baron. Lee Sin gets caught as well, and he gets destroyed. It's like he was farming or something. Now I can't go home. I have to try for Baron. I throw my E, and then I could Q to it to see if I could get, the Baron seal. However, here's the situation. I lost vision, but I know how much health it was going to have. I could have flashed and smote it. They didn't smite it in time. Their smiting was just terrible. So there I facepalmed. I could have stolen it if I had manned up. I would have died very swiftly, of course. But they have Baron and they killed a few of us. The gold gap is pretty much even again. However, we have 6 towers, they have 2, but they have Baron, so now they're going to push this en masse. We catch Shaco, but Vayne initiated so poorly and just gets destroyed by by Riven. Riven goes in, Riven kills her, then the Cassin flashes in, he blinks in, gets damage to hell and back, flashes over. It's like, I'm just trying, I don't want to fight. I'm just hoping they back away. Castin blinks in, tries to go for Lux, gets in between 3 people, and gets fucking killed. So there's another one dead. I'm like, fuck. I messed up my EQ. I was hoping to CC the Lux under the Riven under this and get her killed. So 3 of my teammates just died. Pretty much needlessly. Nami was just there by, having to be there. So sadly, she died. This game is pretty much living in the shitter, so I'm just hoping we can bring this back. It kind of sucks, the fact that we kind of had it in the beginning, but then there's a lot of roaming and bad play from several players, and they got caught, and they basically threw it. But there's still 2 minutes left of this video, so let's see what happens. I get blue because, I start doing blue and give it to the Cassidin. They show up just by the time we finish, so thankfully we got it down. They were at our base, so we gotta kind of clean it up a little bit. I buy Home Guard. This is the last item I can possibly have. We go to bottom lane to protect it from the enemy team. I'm worried. I was thinking I can't even peel the Riven anymore. Vayne initiates, pops her ultimate, and pops everything to try to kill somebody. I have a feeling they're hiding in the tri-bush, and they just want to pop at somebody. So I threw my standard and revealed them. And now Vayne tanks and fights the Shaco. Nothing happens as a result, really. Cassidin is going from behind. We open up on the Shaco, but of course he just blinks away. I get chunked quite a bit, 1/3 of my health. So now I'm forced to retreat. So there's this game is looking pretty grim now. Blitzcrank misses his hook. Riven just goes all in and destroys the Vayne. Lux ult finishes her off, and my team is just getting cleaned up. We have absolutely no way to answer this. We don't have as much damage as they do. They were able to farm up and reset whatever bad situation they had early game, and my team has a tendency to just get themselves killed and positioned badly. So, all in all, there was mistakes from a lot of players on both teams. The game was pretty much relatively even, and, I tried. Couldn't ask at least for anything better than an attempt. The Nami did well, I did well. Lee Sin got his ass kicked by Riven, but I can't judge. I didn't pay that much attention to that. And Cassidin and Vayne had a death witch pretty much throughout the fucking